Did you know that since 2020, an average youngster spends 147 minutes a day scrolling through their phone on social media? Gone are those days where currency was given in money or in gold. Today's generation likes to get paid in likes, shares, and subscribes. We live in a world where phones are becoming more and more smart, but people are becoming more and more dull. And there is only one cause for all of these problems. And that phenomenon is called digital addiction. Hare Krishna and welcome to Geeta Explains, a series where the world's biggest psychological problems are explained in both medical and spiritual terms. Today, let us understand this problem of digital addiction and learn how Krishna's teachings can help us overcome it. Just a reminder, if you have not subscribed to us yet, use the subscribe button below and click on the bell icon to get regular updates from Folk Exclusive. So, what's digital addiction? Digital addiction is a behavioral pattern where one has an uncontrollable urge to open his phone to escape from his thoughts. Today's average youngster hates boredom so much that he puts most of his time and efforts on his mobile, and this impacts important life areas. For example, we all have that friend who picks out their phone as soon as a plate of food arrives in a restaurant and checks all the excellent angles to take a picture of that food instead of actually eating it. In fact, people who pay lakhs of money for tickets of a concert and end up recording the whole concert on their mobile instead of actually enjoying it. This disease is so bad that people are actually recording natural disasters instead of actually saving themselves or people's whose lives are in danger. So how does one know if he is digitally addicted? Let me ask you 3 questions and you can answer it yourself. Number 1, do you have an urge to always check whether someone has liked or commented on your story or post? Second, do you feel an urge that you have to open your mobile constantly, otherwise you'll miss out on some important updates? Third, do you always feel uneasy if you don't respond to a friend and keep constantly opening your mobile to respond back to them? If all the 3 questions answers yes, then congratulations my friend, you're addicted. Having a mobile is like having dopamine loaded in your pockets. Whenever you feel the slightest of discomforts or boring moments in life, you open this gun and shoot your face with bullets of unlimited content. In fact, the world has become so addicted to social media that they're learning about this addiction on social media, just like many of our viewers. But the question arises, why are we so addicted to our phones? To understand this problem, there is an excellent story that comes from our scriptures. So once upon a time, there lived a rishi who used to perform intense tapasya. And according to our Vedic scriptures, whoever performs such high amounts of tapasya will be granted high positions like Indra. But seeing this, Lord Indra himself felt insecure whether the rishi will take up his position. So, being worried, he made a plan. One day, Indra went to this rishi and gave him a highly powerful and majestic looking sword. He told to the rishi, I am giving you this sword. You please keep it with you and take care of it. One day, I will be using it to protect Dharma. Understanding his duty, the rishi agreed and kept the sword with him. So, after taking the sword, the rishi kept it beside him and continued his tapasya. As days passed, one day, the rishi developed a desire to just touch the sword and see how it feels like. So, the rishi set aside his tapasya and held the sword to see how it feels like. After holding the sword for some time, the rishi liked it and developed a desire to learn how to use the sword. So, as the rishi kept practicing about how to use the sword, he started cutting trees and branches, and he saw how powerful the sword is. So now, he put aside his tapasya completely and started cutting innocent animals with the sword. See how just the presence of the sword made a sober meditating man into an animal killer. By this story, we can conclude that this root cause of addiction is basically wrong attachment. So, why do we develop these wrong attachments? A problem which modern psychologists are not able to solve, Krishna had solved thousands of years ago by telling this Bhagavad Gita shloka. He who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, work and recreation can mitigate all the material pains by practicing the yoga system. Krishna here explains that the activities of sleeping, eating, work and recreation should be regulated. Uncontrolled indulgence into any such activities can take us to dangerous situations. Just like Rishi in the previous story had uncontrolledly indulged in the activity of recreation, that is, playing around with the sword, beginning with wanting to just touch the sword with it and slowly getting addicted to its power and majesty. He had given up all his regular duties. This is what wrong attachment does to you. In the same way, one may start slowly and casually by browsing 5 minutes of social media, but slowly develop into a deep sense of attachment for the information and entertainment that it gives us, and slowly wants us craving for more and more. For example, we all might have had that one day where we open our phone just to check the notification on some app, and then you suddenly start scrolling through reels and shorts involuntarily. It's only after 1.5 hours that you realize that you've been wasting your time on your phone. So the question remains, what to do to overcome this demon of digital addiction? We at Folk Exclusive have brought you a few practical tips so that you can overcome this problem. First technique, mindful usage. Before opening a social media app, pause and check yourself. Is this the best use of my time right now? If the answer is no, you can put your phone back. If you're so interested in creating some content, you can also create content which is inspirational, engaging, and spiritual. Technique number 2, digital fasting. Just like we do physical fasting at some specific points of our time for our physical and spiritual well-being, we should also do digital fasting, which is completely disconnecting yourself from your phone and social media and interacting with your real-life friends so that you can attain some mental well-being. Third technique is practicing japa. Practicing japa is a method of sound meditation which helps us control our anxiety, resulting in a calm and cool mind. Hence, it is recommended to practice chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra at least 1 or 2 times a day. This will help you attain some spiritual happiness and will keep you away from getting addicted to mindless and meaningless scrolling. Remember that it's a sad reality that these phones are now an irreplaceable part of our lives. And using these phones should be for the betterment of our lives, not for degradation. That's why we would say that smartphones should create smarter lives, not shorter lives. Thank you so much for watching Geeta Explains. If you've missed out our last video, you can view it by clicking on the I button here. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, please comment which topic you want us to cover next time. Hare Krishna.